Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WPF tutorial video by Why This Tutorial Now. So today we'll be talking about a very important aspect of WPF development environment, and that aspect is about having the customization to create your very own control. Now this aspect is called user controls in WPF. User controls in WPF is just an extension of customization of a particular aspect of design or functionality. Now, what do I mean by that really complicated noun field statement? Well, the gist of it, or the basic thing that you need to know about user controls, is that user controls gives the option to the developer to have his own set of controls which are customizable according to the needs of his application, and that is a fantastic thing to be to avail from this particular aspect of coding. So let's get started by first introducing you to the brand new Visual Studio 2012 environment. Yes, we have upgraded from 2010 going up to 2012 now, and it is really a programmer's delight. I have to say, I was never a huge fan of the 2010 environment. I thought that they could go really quite some notches up, and they have done that. The design aspect and the coding aspect is really smooth now. You have IntelliSense even for jQuery, JavaScript, and all those things. Even complicated methods can be done really easily. So the environment really looks cool, has a Windows 8 kind of feel to it, and it really has these beautiful small little transitions and fade-ins and fade-outs, which I really like, and it feels like a premium software, and it is a premium software. So number one, welcome to 2012 Visual Studio. So I have created this very basic WPF demo project, which is just a basic demo project. It has nothing in it, and I'll just run that particular project, and you see a blank main window. There's nothing to it. So we'll be adding a user control to this particular window. So user controls can contain anything. That's right, it can have any controls in it, and it can have its own functionality. So why do we need a user control, and why not just create a form? Well, the idea of it is really simple. Whenever you have certain functionality that you need to perform throughout the application, but you need to do it in a certain way with some certain functionalities embedded into that particular functionality, that is when we use user controls. User controls are generally used when you have some customized context menus, or a menu of your own, dynamic generation of images, and all those beautiful things that we do in application development. As we go forward, you'll more and more understand the importance of this particular aspect of WPF. So after creating your very basic project, you'll see in my solution explorer now that I have a main window, XAML, and rest of it is just configuration. So all I need to do is click on my project, go to add new item, and then I'll go to WPF, and then you'll see this, that you have your user control WPF, and you just change this name to, I'm just going to write some UC demo. So user control demo is the name of my file. Click on add, and you get this windowish kind of window. So there's nothing to be really scared about, because this is nothing new. It is the same thing as a particular window would have. So you have your introduction tag, which is the user control tag, and it has its own set of declarations, and it has its own height and width. Now let's just go in and change that particular height and width to say, let's have the height of 100 and the width of 200. Beautiful. So as you will see, I've just changed the height of my control along with my width. Now I have a grid over here. So let's put in some elements into this particular grid. Let's say I want to add a label. So I'm just going to go label content equals, say, test of my user control. Fantastic. And I'm just going to close it. First, I'll give it a name. It's very important that you name your components, even though it's not mandatory. You should always name your components. So let's give it a name, say LBL test. Fantastic. I'm not that creative, as I have already spoken to you about it in my previous videos. Okay, so we have added the label tag into our user control, and now you can see that the test of my user control is popping up in our particular preview over here. So now I need this particular control to be used throughout my application, but I want it to be rendered as and when I require it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Solution Explorer. I'm going to go to my main window.xaml. Now this is my entry point, this is my starting point for my application, and I'm going to add a button over here. It's going to be really simple. So I'll just add a button. I'll give it a name. Let's say BTN show, and then I'm going to give it a click event. Render that particular click event auto-generated, and then I'm going to show content equals show. Fantastic. Now the entire page is the button, and as I have shown in my previous videos, it's because of my grid. So I'm going to go grid.row definitions. Inside that I am going to say row definition. I'm going to give it a height of, say, 40. Fantastic. Now I'm going to give this particular button the grid.row equals 0. Fantastic. So I have my grid number 1, which has 1 row currently, and it has a button. Now let's add another row, but let's not give this a height. Let's keep it auto, which is by default. So if you don't write anything, height it will be set to auto. Now I'm going to add a stack panel, and I'm going to give it a name. Let's say STK test. Cool. I'm going to add it in my second row instead of my first. Fantastic. And I'm not going to add anything inside my stack panel. So the stack panel is nothing but an orientation container. What it does is it will take components which are inside this particular panel and stack them up. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to just set the orientation. It's going to be vertical. Fantastic. Now we're going to work on how do we put our user control into this particular stack when I click the show button. So let's come on to the event that we created, the btn show underscore click underscore 1. This event is mapped with my button, which is btn show, and on click it will be fired. So all I have to do, I'm going to show you the most easiest way to add the user control. So I'm going to go UC demo, which is the name of the class of my user control, and I'm going to create an object UC obj equal to new UC demo. What this will do is it will create this particular object of UC demo, and it will keep it in memory. So I'm just going to take it from memory, and I'm going to show it to my users of my application by just adding it into the stack. So I'm going to go stack test dot children dot add, and I'm going to add my UI elements. So you'll see that the add functionality for the stack has a UI element as the parameter. So the parameter is going to be UCOBJ. Fantastic. Close it. So what is going to happen is when I run this particular main window, the btn show button, when clicked, will create, at this point, will create my user control in memory, and this particular stack panel will be the one who is going to display it onto my form. So let's run the program. You see the show button, and I click it, and I get my test of my user controls. So user controls are that simple to create and work with. There is another method to create your user control and to implement it into your application, but that one is a little more complicated, so I'll be getting it into a brand new video, which is going to be the next part. But for this particular method, you have seen that it is damn simple. So all you need is a main window. You need some functionality on which you need a certain user control to be displayed. You can add a button, you can have a list view, whatever you want, or you can have it even have a Windows event like window open, minimize, maximize, whatever. On particular event firing, all you need to do is create the object of your user control, such as this, and then load it into your window. You can do it in as many ways as you like, and depending on your functionality, you can keep it as complex as you like. So that was a quick demo about user controls and how to implement them into your main window. So if you have any doubts, anything that you liked about the video, did not like about the video, your opinion in general, just leave a comment. And if you did like my videos, please do share it, and please leave a like. So thank you for watching, and more videos are coming soon. Have a great